Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here because today I can start discussing with you on how this business web technology can be realized and how it can optimize your business in practice. The first thing that we decided to do is when we create such a technology, such an environment, we step away from the current today's situation where every employee, every stakeholder is working with its own local software applications, talking about Access, Excel, Office and things like that, and we move towards an online platform. This makes a lot of things possible in the future and also today. Now, people are working in a mobile environment everywhere nowadays, and it means that online access becomes more and more important in the working environment as well. What we can provide by implementing an online platform is the fact that you can access this technology, access this web anytime and from any place all over the world. And even more important, because we are migrating towards that mobile world, we are more and more using mobile devices as well. Talking about Android, talking about iPhones, they are smashing all over through the business, and that's why we provide mobile access as well by any means. And we're going to show in the showcase today that we will be using a smartphone to continuously connect to our business web, which makes it possible for mobile users all over the field to access and to be online. Now, this online platform must be available. So there are some requirements when we are creating this system. So we created a system in the cloud, which means that we are providing a SaaS integration, a software as a service, but we call it actually a software as a solution. This software as a solution is actually a business web that will be reliable and available at all times. Because in the cloud, the environment where we deploy our whole system shared all over the world, we can continuously connect to this system and it will be always reliable because of fail-safe procedures and so on. Talking about availability, it means that nowadays we need to have access at any time. A global cooperation means that 24/7 people are connecting, so we need to have access in the cloud at any time and at any place. Now, the system that we are talking about, the B-Web that we are talking about, we call it iBoss. It's an integrated business optimization software solution. And it means that we are going to integrate, we're going to optimize our business, and we provide this as a solution. The integration of the data is actually one of the most important parts, because when we would like to cooperate, we would like to optimize our business, we need to integrate our data into one centrally hosted location, because at that time everybody can collaborate on the most data information available. And when we talk about data, we think about assets, we think about people, we think about technologies, we think about our infrastructure, our buildings, our organizations. When we have all these pieces of information and we can connect them to each other, we can start supporting your core process or your core activities. Because you all know that every workflow in an organization is actually based on the creation and the fetching and the rendering of information, getting the people together, getting the information together and making the right decisions. So when we can support your core processes, you can, for example, provide a better workflow management in your organization. Now, when we provide a total solution on the integration of the data, providing extra benefits for you as an organization, this also implies that this technology has to rely for a little bit on shared technology, which means that you have your shared technology, but also the responsibility of your data, in fact. It means that, for example, when you talk about managing your facilities and you would like subcontractors for maintenance to connect to your system, they will have to have access to that information which is provided by you as an organization. Now, you can continuously control which information shall be shared, which information is private, of course. But when we provide this integration and continuous improvement, we can start to optimize your business. That's the second part of the story. So one of the examples is, for example, the improvement of communication. Everybody knows the cramming email system that we have nowadays. You arrive at your office location and the first thing you have to do is surf to through 300 mails, for example, because everybody wants to be informed about everything happening within the organization. Even worse, if you, for example, have a question to ask someone else, you just send him a mail. But if he doesn't know how to respond, maybe he will forward this mail to someone else without you even being aware. And furthermore, if that email starts to serve throughout the organization, there is no longer any live follow-up or any feedback. When we provide communication, all kinds of communication inside our B-Web technology, we can provide this follow-up and this feedback. So you are in charge, you are in control. Now, one of those things that we started thinking about is that when we provide business optimization, we will always try to optimize your core activities, your core processes. And this means that when we would like to provide on-the-fly reporting, for example, which is very interesting and important for management purposes, we are going to digitize every process in the organization that can be included into this B-Web, where other stakeholders, customers, clients, subcontractors, and so on connect to this process, because there are lots and lots of processes in an organization where other third parties are involved. And when we can succeed in digitizing these processes, taking away all the paper in between and communicate on a business web level, we can provide reporting, follow-up and feedback. Sorry. Now, going back to that sharing of the information, I still want to discuss the fact that the responsibility is really important, because if we can share our information with the stakeholders that connect to the system, you can very easily enhance your facility management, for example. If you want cleaning to be done, if you want maintenance to be done, if there are technical issues and you connect to your subcontractors, for example, they can plug in on this system and they can connect to you as an organization. Talking about access management, I have an example here, for example. Now, today everybody works with a set of standard keys. If you are a facility manager, you must know that this is a big problem, because there are a lot of responsible people who need to have access at some time to one of your locations for maintenance, for work, for deliveries and so on. But what you then do is you provide a key to that organization, and what happens next, you just don't know. Is the key being copied? Who is carrying the key? When do they use the key? What do they do with this key actually, and who is using the key? We have no knowledge on that. So what we have integrated into the system is a digitally programmable online key. It's actually an electronic key. And this key can be programmed remote on the arrival of someone who needs to access your infrastructure. What means that we know where he is, we know when he is accessing the information, we know who is accessing the information. And talking about safety management, we can now control the access to our locations, which is a huge advantage compared with the current situation. And all this, now going back, and all this fits in asset management as a whole, actually, which means that all your assets can now be managed and controlled. Now, sharing information is only one part, but we like to connect the stakeholder parties. That's really important, because when we do that, we can actually improve transparency, not only to our clients, which really appreciate the added value that you can provide by providing transparency and feedback and follow-up, but you can also, in that way, manage all your assets over the processes that are involved in your organization, because every connecting organization will share some information towards you, and you share some information back. That means that you are collaborating, and that means that you can provide a better transparency, you can improve your services actually. And this all fits in the story of being faster, better and cheaper, because you all know everything has to be faster today. We need to provide this yesterday instead of tomorrow. It has to be better, because if we are of the same quality level as our competitor, we are losing our market share. And on the other hand, all the CEOs of the organizations since a few years, since the economic crash, are talking about we need to cut costs and improve our profits. We need to cut our costs and improve our profits. So that's why we propose you to get connected. We provide a thorough user management, so every stakeholder connecting to the system has their responsibility and shared technology. This system is accessible online, as I already talked about, and very important for you, because you must have a few questions on that. We protect every piece of information. You decide which information can be shared with your stakeholders. And process integration, it's actually the step towards improving your services. Because when you integrate your processes into this business web, you can provide better services. So we get connected to connect, because what we can realize then is an enhancement of your processes. That's really interesting to do, because we see now that things can go faster, better, and cheaper. And thinking in one step even further to the future, we can think about the fact that we are not creating a business web technology where different stakeholders, where different responsibles are connecting to each other on an online platform, but we are even thinking further towards a cross-business web, where collaboration between different partners becomes so intense that you can talk about a virtual global organization that is providing services towards a specific customer in the market, for example. And that's what we call business innovation. Because tomorrow, when you can go to the market with an integrated business model, together with all your stakeholders, you can provide a lot more services, you can provide a lot better services. And that's how you actually improve your business nowadays. So what I like to repeat is say that you have to get connected to the system to connect in the market, to connect to your business. Now, what we are going to show you is a demonstration